Workers in the furniture manufacturing industry face a variety of occupational hazards due to the wide range of processes and materials involved. The purpose of the study is to identify these risks and assess how much of a health risk they pose to the employees in this industry. The study outlines the main risks associated with the manufacturing furniture through a review of the literature, regulations, and empirical studies. This research explores the health consequences of these hazards for workers. It emphasizes the needs for robust hazard identification programs, injury controls, PPE, health monitoring, and extensive training to mitigate risk and ensure worker safety. This study adds to the body of knowledge by providing information on health exposure and hazard identification, which helps with the creation of plans to raise occupational safety and health standards in the furniture manufacturing industry.
Furniture manufacture is a large industry that has an impact on the economy, culture, and society. Designing, creating, and distributing furniture products such as couches, tables, chairs, and other home furnishing is known as furniture manufacturing. Furthermore, it is far more significant than just being useful, and it has been a vital component of human life for ages. However, there are risks and hazards specific to the furniture manufacturing industry, necessitating strict attention to safety procedures. The setting in which one works in a furniture production facility is defined by high temperature, loud machinery, and numerous kinds of complex processes. Workers are exposed to high temperature throughout the combustion process, which can cause heat-related disease and injuries. In addition, the machinery, and equipment need to be maintained, repaired, and operated on a regular basis, which raises the risk of accident if safety procedures are not properly followed. The production of furniture entails several steps, supplies, and tools, all of which carry some risk. Determining and resolving this risk is essential to guaranteeing a secure workplace for workers. Sharp blades, crushing injuries from moving parts, electrocution, and exposure to dangerous chemicals are among the typical possible risks associated with making furniture. The industrial sector has recorded 4,273 cases of non-permanent disability and 183 cases of permanent disability, according to figures from the Department of Occupational Safety and Health (DOSH). Based to the sector, there were up to 55 deaths during the time, and the total number of cases that were documented increased to 4,514.
The main objective of this project is to identify hazard and health exposure to workers while working in furniture manufacturing industry. To achieve this overall objective, three specific sub-objectives are planned. First, to evaluate the effect of hazard to the health exposure to workers in the furniture manufacturing industry. Second, to determine the effect of the furniture manufacturing industry to the environment. And the last one is to assign each hazard for identifying required corrective action to minimize the risk or eliminate the hazard. The aim of this study is to obtain a thorough understanding of the operation of furniture manufacturing along with the risks and the hazards that are related to them. We prioritize long-term environmental sustainability while preserving worker health and well-being by expanding our knowledge. The goal of the research is to identify and apply efficient preventive methods to minimize workplace accidents.
Malaysia furniture manufacturing industry is a vital contributor to the country's economy, producing a variety of furniture items with a focus on export markets like US, Europe, Japan, and other parts of Asia. The industry is backed by a skilled workforce, advanced manufacturing technologies, design capabilities, and a supportive government. The availability of raw materials and cost-effective production methods further strengthens its competitive edge. Furniture manufacturing clusters in regions like Muar Johor and Sarawak foster efficiency of it. However, the industry faces challenges like rising production costs, global competition, fluctuating raw materials prices, and the need to innovate. To address this, the industry is adopting sustainable practices, adopting green manufacturing processes, and embracing technological advancements like automation and 3D printing. Overall, the industry contributes significantly to employment, exports, and economic growth.
A hazard is something that could hurt someone or negatively impact their health. Risk is the possibility that someone will be hurt or experience negative health effects because of being exposed to a hazard. Consequently, even though there is a risk, it can be minimized. In the context of the furniture manufacturing industry, a physical hazard refers to any potentially harmful or dangerous condition, situation, or factor that arises from the physical environment or processes within the manufacturing facility. This hazard can cause injury or harm to workers, equipment, or the environment. In this study, there is two types of physical hazard, which is noise and vibration hazards and slip, trips, and fall hazard.
Noise is one of the hazards defined under the title of physical effect in many sources on OSH, which can be encountered not only in industrial areas but also in all areas of life, causing both work accident and occupational disease. It has been clearly seen that among these effects, especially the noise factor, is a main factor that occurs frequently on the furniture industry workers and causes distinct level of influence. Vibration effect, on the other hand, is at a level that can be defined as the least likely source of danger to influence employee health due to short-term exposure. Machinery and equipment, compressor, and ventilation system used in furniture manufacturing industry are the main sources of noise and vibration. Similarly, the health effect of noise and vibration may result in increased blood pressure, metabolism disorder, behavioral disorder, circulatory disorder, sleep disorder, headache, and fatigue, while noise may result in hearing loss and vibration may result in tissue deformation.
Slip is an unintentional loss of balance that causes a person to slide short distances, such as spills from wood polish or wet surfaces. Trip is when a person catches their foot or footwear on something, causing them to stumble or lose balance, such as uneven or damaged flooring. Fall is when a person descends from ground level or from a height intentionally and awkwardly, such as incorrect use or faulty maintenance of ladders and stairs, resulting in a risk of injury. These safety measures are crucial in maintaining public safety. Slips, trips, and falls can happen in any workplace. They can occur at the entry of a building, in the kitchen, in cold rooms, on loading docks, and even as you walk outside the building. More serious slips or trips together with the resulting falls may result in sprains or strains, broken bones when trying to break the fall, back injury due to the sudden and forceful impact during a fall, burns if it occurs near hot surfaces or if the person is handling gut fluid, and cuts if it occurs near sharp objects.
Furniture product is subjected to several regulations concerning product safety, which includes but is not limited to safety design, product flammability, product toxicity, packaging, and labeling. In the wood furniture manufacturing sector, formaldehyde is mainly found in acid-catalyzed varnishes, also called two-part varnishes. Some glues, including the one used for gluing edges, may also contain it. In the workplace, formaldehyde exposure occurs in various ways. In its gaseous form, it is absorbed by the respiratory tract. When in aqueous solution, it is absorbed through the skin contact. The most used solvent in the production of paint and similar chemicals are benzene, toluene, ethyl benzene, and cycling compound, which are preferred because they are inexpensive and dissolve oil, varnishes, and other resins well. These chemicals also cause health risks such as allergic reaction, eye irritation, respiratory disorder, digestive disorder, skin disease, and brain and nervous system disorders. In the case of direct skin contact, formaldehyde can cause skin lesions such as irritation, irritant, and allergic dermatitis. The symptoms are itching, tingling, and redness. Skin sensitization is likely to occur after contact with aqueous solution of formaldehyde or even with solid or resin containing free formaldehyde. When a person is sensitized, skin allergy symptoms may occur at every contact with solution of increasingly low concentration. In the case of occupational exposure over several years, formaldehyde has been related to causing cancer of nasopharynx. The most exposed workers are finishing painters, preparation painters, colorists, and some manual labourers, including those working at the dryer or oven outfits, as well as maintenance personnel, which is mechanic or electrician, foreman, and supervisor.
Ergonomics seeks to adapt task, working conditions, work methods, tools, machines to maximize their sustainability for people. In the industry, the risk factors of ergonomics can be used to identify the existence of this ergonomic hazard in the workplace. The main ergonomic risk factors are repetitive movements, poor postures, excessive force, and a lack of rest were evaluated by observing the workers during their working. Manual handling is an example of an ergonomic issue that brings discomfort, fatigue, and back pains to the workers that will reduce workers' productivity. The health effect of ergonomic requires an ergonomic risk factor is any attribute, characteristic of exposure that may cause or contribute to a musculoskeletal injury resulting from heavy lifting and pulling of movements that cause workers prone to have musculoskeletal syndrome disorders, which is we call it as MSDS.
Bleaching is the initial step in some finishing processes. The main goal is to create a uniformly pale background that can be finished with any type of finish rather than necessarily making a blunt finish. Neutralizer is typically needed for bleaching, necessitating two-spray operation. One major problem in bleaching is the fire hazard. Many bleachers contain strong oxidizing agents, cellulose lacquer, especially in porous accumulation, as occur on finishing conveyor pallet, is highly flammable. The contact of the bleach with cellulose deposit on the pallet must be avoided. Smoke is made up of a complex mixture of gases and fine particles produced when wood and other organic matters burn. The biggest health threat from smoke comes from fine particles. These microscopic particles can get into your eyes and respiratory systems, where they can cause health problems such as burning eyes, runny nose, and illnesses such as bronchitis. Fine particles also can aggravate chronic heart and lung disease and even are linked to premature death in people with this condition.
Wood dust is another risk effect to employee health. A higher percentage of fine dust is generated during the processing and especially sanding of wood material. The effect of wood dust varies according to the type of wood. Generally, the harder the wood, the more breakage occurs and the more dust it generates. For example, working with dry wood can produce a larger inhalable dust volume and a higher percentage of respirable dust particles. Wood dust, according to its effect on employees, is grouped as a respirable dust that can enter the head respiratory system and is deposited in the alveoli of the lung. Released dust can cause skin disease such as dermatitis, nasal congestion, respiratory problems such as asthma and bronchitis, and also nasal sinus cancer.
The wooden materials such as board may contain biological contaminants as a biological risk factors. Mold and fungus growing on tree bark can cause allergic reaction. Inhaling fungus spores found in the bark of maple, elder, and cork tree causes lung disease such as tuberculosis and cirrhosis. Contact with certain plants, plant material, or fungi may cause non-infection poisoning, stinging, allergic reaction, and irritant contact or allergic contact dermatitis. Fungi may be responsible for a variety of diseases such as ringworm or tinea, which may affect, for example, athletes, military personnel in barracks, and staff of gymnasium, veterinary practice, and workers in laundries. Fungi such as molds and yeast can cause allergies that result in hypersensitivity or asthma among the worker.
The furniture manufacturing industry generates various waste materials, including emissions from machinery, wood, and liquid waste, which can have a significant negative impact on the environment. Improper disposal of these materials can lead to soil infertility, groundwater pollution, stream pollution, fish supply issues, and health problems in local populations. Additionally, noise generation from manufacturing operations can also negatively affect local populations. Therefore, it is crucial to properly manage and dispose of these waste materials to ensure the sustainability of the furniture industry.
The hierarchy of control is a method of identifying and ranking safeguards to protect workers from hazard. They are arranged from the most to least effective and include elimination, substitution, engineering controls, administrative control, and personal protective equipment. A pyramid is a common way to illustrate the hierarchy of hazard control with replacement, engineering control, administrative control, and personal protective equipment (PP) at the base and the elimination at the top. Prioritizing the application of control at the top of the hierarchy over those at lower level is the idea. Integrating several control measures from several levels might offer a more all-encompassing strategy for handling workplace risks.
As for the methodology, the study utilized Google Scholar, Science Direct, and ResearchGate databases to search for English journals related to the furniture manufacturing industry. Keywords included furniture manufacturing industry, hazard in furniture manufacturing, and risk analysis of furniture process. The search was analyzed using PDF gear, and the results were categorized into physical, health, economic, biological, fire, noise, and vibrations hazard.
There are several potential risks associated with furniture manufacture, including those involving materials, machinery, ergonomics, and other factors. To provide a safe working environment, it is essential to implement effective hazard prevention and control measures. To keep a safe and healthy workplace, furniture manufacturers must regularly identify risks, educate staff in safety programs, and review and enhance safety protocols. The possibility or chance that a particular occurrence or result will occur is referred to as likelihood. A probability measure can be either qualitative or quantitative, expressing the likelihood of an event occurring on a scale from most unlikely to extremely likely. Probability is frequently evaluated using expert opinion, past data, the evidence that is currently available, or a mix of these. This picture is the table of likelihood. Severity is referred to the degree or level of injury, damage, or impact that may arise from a particular occurrence, incident, or hazard. It is a metric, either qualitative or quantitative, that evaluates the gravity or severity of the repercussion related to a specific circumstance. To provide a complete picture of risk, severity and probability of an event happening are frequently assessed together. This is the table of severity. Risk can be presented in several ways to express the analysis findings and help with the risk control decision making. Presenting the result in a risk matrix is a very effective technique to communicate the distribution of the risk throughout a plant and area in a workplace when doing risk analysis that employs likelihood and severity in a qualitative method. To efficiently manage workplace dangers, the relative risk value can be utilized to rank the order of importance of required activities. Table below show the priority based on the range.
Based on the industry that we have selected, a hierarchy form has been created. It illustrates the risks that are part of the daily tasks or activities in the furniture manufacturing sector. It also assesses the degree of risk associated with an activity, which enables us to recommend appropriate control measures that must be implemented in the industry in order to ensure worker safety.
The furniture manufacturing industry faces significant health and safety risks due to vibration hazard from machinery and tools used in woodworking and furniture production. Hand-arm vibration syndrome is caused by prolonged use of tools like sanders, grinders, drill, and saws, causing symptoms like numbness, tingling, reduced dexterity, and long-term damage to nerve, blood vessels, and muscles. Whole body vibration occur when workers operate heavy machinery or vehicle on vibrating surfaces, leading to musculoskeletal issues, back pain, spinal disorder, and organ damage. To mitigate this hazard, furniture manufacturing industry can implement this risk control measure. First is engineering control that implies using anti-vibration chainsaw, anti-vibration pneumatic chipping hammers, pavement breakers, and vibration dampened pneumatic riveting guns. Next is administrative control, which provide training and education to employees that include proper use and maintain vibration tools. Lastly is personal protective equipment that highlights safe work practices by using anti-vibration gloves and not using faulty tools. While for noise hazard, there are few standards used to address the noise hazard in the industry, specifically those published by OSHA, FMA, and NIOSH. Both NIOSH and FMA recommend an occupational noise exposure limit of 85 decibel TWA, while for OSHA, the noise level exceeded 85 decibel TWA will require a hearing conservation program. Most of the standards agree that the exposure of noise level of 85 decibel is the permissible limit in the industry. As you may see, there is 5 steps in controlling noise hazard. First is elimination or minimization through safe design by eliminating the noise source and substitution of the activity or process by changing the noisy component or process for a quieter one. Engineering control is by modifying the noise source by installing local enclosure around noisy machine components. Administrative control by using noise mapping to identify safe or unsafe noise areas, and also rescheduling workers' duty to limit exposure time. Next is personal protective equipment by choosing the best personal hearing protector, and lastly, occupational noise management program, which provide education and training, audiometric testing, and record keeping system.
Slip, trip and fall can result in injuries with lasting effect and even death. It is important to understand how slip, trip and fall happen, how to identify hazard, and how to eliminate or minimize the hazard. Based on the finding, there are 4 controls that can be carried out. First is elimination control, where is remove tripping hazard in walkways, doorways and stairs. Second is engineering control, which utilize guards to transport large items. Furthermore, employers should install warning sign, ensure adequate lighting is available at work area, and report identified hazards that have possible injury. Lastly, workers must wear appropriate personal protective equipment such as wearing shoes with good support and non-slip sole suitable for a work task. Chemical used in woodworking can cause several health problems. Each hazardous chemical therefore needs to be identified, assessed and controlled to minimize health risks to employees. These include substances used to treat, preserve, paint, remove paint, varnish, stain, clean, seal and glue furniture and wood products. As for elimination control, do not use hazardous chemical. If cannot, replace the chemical with the less hazardous one. Next, isolate the work and keep those doing it and those nearby safe from the hazard. Install general dilution ventilation, local exhaust ventilation, or spray booth. Employees need to reduce workers' exposure by implementing job rotation. Lastly, use appropriate PPE as an additional precaution.
Controlling ergonomic hazard in the furniture manufacturing industry is crucial to ensure the health and well-being of workers. There are many ways to reduce ergonomic risk factors and help fit the workplace to the worker. Solution can be grouped into 3 main categories: eliminate the hazard, improve work policies and procedures, and provide personal protective equipment. First is engineering control by redesign workstation and work areas to eliminate reaching, bending, or other awkward position. Provide adjustable tables and chairs that can be used by workers with a range of sizes and shapes, and that allow neutral posture. Provide carts for transporting material and mechanical hose to eliminate lifting. Use tools that fit the hand, have no sharp edge, and eliminate awkward hand and wrist position. Change where materials are stored to minimize reaching, and design containers with handles or cutout for easy gripping. Move forward to the next risk control in ergonomic hazard is administrative control. Rotate workers among different tasks to rest the various muscle groups of the body, reduce repetition, and ease mental demand. Improve work scheduling to minimize excessive overtime or shift work which can cause fatigue. Increase staffing to reduce individual workloads. Provide sufficient breaks since adequate recovery time can reduce fatigue. Assign more staff to lift off heavy objects. Encourage proper body mechanics and use of safe lifting technique. Require all loads to be labeled with their weight. Store heavy objects at waist height. Follow good housekeeping practices. Keep floor free of slipping or tripping hazard. Maintain power tools properly to reduce vibration. Keep cutting and drilling tools sharp to reduce the force required. Provide workers with training on safe working posture, lifting techniques, ergonomic policies and procedures, and the safe use of lifting and carrying device. Lastly is personal protective equipment. Knee pad for kneeling tasks, shoulder pads to cushion loads carried on the shoulder, glove to protect against cold, vibration or rough surfaces.
The furniture manufacturing sector has a variety of materials, machines, and procedures that might increase the risk of fire, so it is crucial to control fire hazards. Putting in place a thorough fire safety program is useful in reducing these dangers. For engineering control requires to install fire alarms, multiple emergency exit and automatic sprinkler system. Next is administrative control must provide emergency response plan. Lastly, personal protective equipment need to provide fire retardant blankets, clothing and masks. To ensure the health and welfare of employees, health hazards in the furniture manufacturing sector must be controlled. The production of furniture involves a number of procedures and materials that may pose health hazards. Engineering controls need to install adequate ventilations. Moreover, administrative controls could provide facilities of dust prevention, put signage at entrance or obvious places of mood dust workshop, provide personal protective equipment to workers. Personal protective equipment must compel workers to wear appropriate personal protective equipment, use dust-proof mask or gauze masks.
The study assessed OSH concern in furniture production processes. It reveals weak training programs, hole in machine safety procedure, and excessive noise level. Maintaining a safe working environment in the furniture manufacturing industry require regular assessment, ergonomic intervention, and employee engagement. To achieve high standard in the furniture manufacturing sector, it requires the backing of management and the proactive participation of employees.
The furniture manufacturing industry is a crucial sector that requires the safety to workers. It faces numerous risks and hazards, from cutting raw materials to finishing products. These risks can include machinery-related accidents, health effects, falls and exposure to harmful substances. To minimize this hazard, proactive steps are needed. The industry should implement engineering controls such as installing shock and noise absorbers on machines and safety guards on the machinery. Elimination hazards in the furniture manufacturing process involve process management and quality control, aiming to eliminate defects, waste or inefficiencies. These include conducting inspections and testing materials before woodworking to ensure they meet quality standard. By implementing these measures, the industry can create a safer working environment that prioritizes worker safety and minimizes accidents and injuries. Substitution control in the furniture manufacturing industry involves replacing materials, components, or process with ergonomic designs and alternative surface treatment methods to reduce hazards. Administrative controls include implementing comprehensive training programs, regularly updating safety protocols, establishing and enforcing policies, and providing emergency response plans. Personal protective equipment (PPE) is crucial for workers, especially in areas with moving machinery or low visibility. High visibility clothing is recommended for workers dealing with chemicals, solvent, or hazardous substances. Hearing protection is necessary for workers operating loud machinery. Regular risk assessment and employee involvement in safety initiatives contribute to a safer and more productive workplace in the furniture manufacturing industry.